All right, sixth grade. So let's do another round of composing on your manuscript paper. So what you're going to need is your manuscript paper. If you still have the same piece that you've been composing on, that's great. Make sure you're using a pencil. I'm using a pen so that when I'm putting it through the document camera on the screen share, you can see it better. I tried pencil, but it's really light and it was really hard to see. So that's why I'm using a pen, but I need you to use a pencil so in case you make a mistake, you can erase it quickly. All right, so if you don't have your manuscript paper, remember that you can create your own by doing your 5 lines and 4 spaces, but also make sure that you've got your treble clef, and your time signature on there. We are still sticking with 4/4. You can have other number of beats in the measure, like if you do 3/4, that means you can only have 3 beats before you do your bar line, but we're going to stick with 4/4. Okay, so let me share my screen and we can go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we go. So what I've done is I've opened up the classicsforkids.com page, went to the game and opened up the Compose Your Own Music game. And then of course I've got my stuff set up. So I've got my treble clef. Fortunately for me, my treble clefs are already written in, but if you printed this off, then you should already have your treble clefs written in too. But just as a reminder as to how to do a treble clef, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you're making your own manuscript paper, you'll need to make sure it goes all the way across, skip a little, space, go all the way across, do what you got to do to try and make it look as close to that as possible. But remember that your treble clef, you want to start at the top, make like a really long J, back to the top, a little small curve to the 4th line, and then you're going to curve all the way around and do a swirl around that 2nd line from the bottom. So remember, that's how to do your treble clef in case you got to draw your own. But what we don't have on the manuscript paper, if you're using this manuscript paper that I have sent you in a link, then you'll need to make sure to put in your time signature. And I'm just going to still use the same manuscript paper that I've been using. There's really no need for me to print out more. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So I've got everything queued up. The only thing I need to do is change this to advanced. Okay, so we have changed this to advanced. So now what we need to do is start with our first beat. So let's see, how should we start? Our previous songs that we've done have all started with ta. So I'm thinking we should start with something a little different. What do you think? Yeah? Okay, so instead of starting with a ta, let's start with, you know what, let's just jump right in and start with some eighth notes or some TTs. So I'm going to click on this one with the flag. Okay, now I have to pick a note. Now I can use any of these notes from this D down here to that D over there. Okay, all right. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and start with, except for the F. You can't use the F. Don't use the F, okay? So D, E, G, A, B, C, D. No F. F bad. Bad F. No F, okay? Let's start with, you know what? I'm going to start with an upper D. Okay, so that D is all the way there, and if I'm looking at it carefully, and you remember what we had talked about weeks ago when we were learning our notes, treble clef line is every good boy does fine. So this one is on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line from the bottom, because we always count bottom to top. So 1, 2, 3, 4th line from the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and stick my circle. Now hold the phone. Don't draw anything except for your circle. If you've stuck a line on that thing, I want you to erase it. I just want your circle. Here's why. In music, in order to make our music staff look neater, whenever we get to a note that is 3rd line or above, we need to draw the stem going down. Okay, so let me explain that again. If it's, and let me draw a big representation here. I'm just going to go to this, what I have back here. If my note is on the 3rd line, my stem can go up, it can go down, it can go either way. If my note is below that 3rd line, that middle line, then our stems are going to go up. Boom. Okay. Stems go up, stem goes up. And in the middle, it can go up or down, whichever I choose. But once I go above that middle line, my stems have to go down. Like, done deal. It's got to go down. Okay. So, boom. All my stems, no matter how high I go on that staff, they have to go down. And again, this B in the middle here can go either way. A lot of times if we've been doing our stem up just because we were using a few notes, there was no need. But now that we're using C and D, might not be a bad idea to have that stem going down whenever we use a B, okay? Now, this computer program, the Classics for Kids thing, all their stems go up. But I want you to do is if it's above that B, C or D, if you use C or upper D, you have got to use your stems going down. And when you do the stem going down, it's got to go on this side of it, okay? The side that's facing our treble clef and time signature. Notice that when the stems are going up, the stem is on the side away from the treble clef and time signature. But when my stem is going down, it's on the side closest to the treble clef and time signature. So what I'm going to do on my D that I drew over here, I'm going to go ahead and make a line coming down because I know I'm supposed to attach it to something. All right, so I need another one of those. So I'm going to click on that again because whenever I do one, I have to do two. You got to do two back to back, okay? All right, so I just did a high D, and this high D is the one that's up on the staff, up on the piano, okay? I think now I want to do the C that's right next to it. Let's just jump right into these new notes. So it's stuck our C in the 1, 2, 3, third space, because remember, treble clef space is space. So I'm going to stick my C here in my third space. My stem is going which direction? Up or down? That's right, it's going down. So my stem's going to go down, and then I'm going to connect my two notes. Now, the reason we want stems to go down, if I've got a whole big old thing of music here, and let's say my piano player or my recorder player, whatever, is playing this top line here, and then he's going to go to the next line, very similar to what you guys have done in class. If these stems are going up, it's going to run into this line above it here. And that's just going to make the music just clumpy. And what if I'm doing a song for a singer and I need to put lyrics in between my lines here? If these stems are going up, it's going to run into those lyrics, making a big old mess. So that is why we use the rule when it's above that third line, stems absolutely have to go down. If it's on the third line, you can choose up or down based on kind of what you're doing with your music. And if it's below the third line, then your stems need to go up, okay? All right, everybody cool? All right. Now, I still have 3 more beats in this measure that I need to put in before I can move on to the next measure. So I'm not sure how I ended up choosing a rhythm for both the first and second songs that we did, doing the same thing. Let me go ahead and put a 3 right here. Let me know it's my third song. So we're gonna do something different. Instead of a 2 like we've been doing, let's do a ta. And I'm going to choose a B because I'm just want my melody just to walk right now. Okay, so there is my B. So now I'm going to come to the 1, 2, 3, third line. Now remember, we said if it's a B on that third line, my stem can go up or it can go down. Now I think personally, because I've already got some stems going down here, I want this one to go down too, just to make my music look a little more neat and symmetrical. So yeah, cool. And if I go any lower than that, I've got to have my stems going up. That's just the rule, okay? All right, so I still have 2 more beats we have to put into this measure. I still don't want to use a ta. You know what? Let's get really crazy with it. Let's do another TT in this measure. So I'm going to choose 1, and I'm just going to walk my melody right on down. We'll stick it in the A, So 1, 2, put my A right here. And now my stem can go up because I'm below that third line. Let me choose another one of those because if I do one, I have to do two. And I'm going to walk it down to the E right here. Okay, so let's see. Right there on the second line, because every good second line is G. Stem going up, connect my stems like that. Boom. I now have 3 beats. I've only got one more beat that I can do. I'm going to listen to it and see what the music tells me to do. Here we go. I think we need, how about a beat of rest? Let's stick a beat of rest in there. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to stick a beat of rest. Remember, you can do the letter Z if you want to, or you can try and draw this fancy thing. Just as a reminder, it's like a sideways Z with a little hook coming off the end. That is our thing. Now I've got all 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I need my bar line as always, and above beat number 1, I'm going to put the number 1 because like earlier, that's our measure numbers, okay? All right, so now I'm into this next one. You know what? I want to start this one with a, how about a ta? Let's see, we had D, C, B, A, G, D. How about we go all the way down to the D? And then maybe, let's do a 3. Well, hold up. We got to write this down. I almost forgot. Put our little circle here below the staff because remember this D goes below the staff like that. And then my stem is going to go up. And then let's see. Let's do an E. We haven't done an E yet. Okay, now I'm going to put my circle, not shaded in because it is a 3 that I just chose, but I have to put a dot on it. You have to put a dot on it. See that dot right there? Okay, you got to put the dot on it. All right, now that I've got 4 beats, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, because this 3 is worth 3. 1 plus 3 equals 4. I'm going to come over here and put in my bar line, just like that, okay? And then I have to put my number 2 because I'm on measure 2. All right, we still got 2 more measures. Let's listen to our song so far, see what it sounds like. Interesting. I'm feeling an A in this. So let's go to an A, but now let's do it on a 2. And let's go to an A. Okay. I'm going to go here on the 1, 2 second space, draw my circle, but I'm not shading it in. Stem must go up because it's below the 3rd line. Boom. Now I have 2 more beats that I need. Let me hear my song so I can see how I'm doing. What should we do now? Da, da, da. What do you think? You think maybe let's do a ta and a B? I don't know. It's kind of, it's just what it's telling me there. All right, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. 3rd line is B. Draw my circle. Now it's on the 3rd line. My stem can go up or down, but you know what? I had it going down earlier on my B, so I'm just gonna do that again, just to be consistent, okay? All right, now I've got 1 more beat that I have to do. Let's do some TTs again. I'm really feeling the TT. You know what, let's go back real quick. I wanna listen to our song to see which note we should do. Okay, maybe let's do a C. Let's do a C. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, third space is our C. So I'm going to draw my C, I'm going to color it in and put my line on. It's always best to draw your little circle and then shade it in or not shade it in, put the dot, whatever you got to do to it. Then draw your stem. But now I have 4 beats because 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put my number 3 right here because that's my third measure. And now I need to move in to the fourth measure. Okay, let's see, fourth measure. Let's do our song, see what it should be. You know what? I'm feeling like it should just walk down to G. So let's go to B. B on the top. So I'm going to come here, put my B on my 1, 2, 3. Third line is B. Draw my stem going down so I can be consistent. Then I want to do another ta, but I want to do an A this time because I feel like my melody should walk down. 1, 2, second space, stem going up because it's below that third line. Okay, and then finally, let's do a tubu and make it a I kind of like it. All right, so let's listen to that again if it'll let me. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That worked out really, really well. All right, cool. So that is how you can compose with D to D. So we started with our lower D, E, G, A, B, and then we added the C and the upper D, okay? So that is what you do when you want to compose with those notes. So next week, we're going to start taking some of these skills that you've learned, kind of tuning your music ear a little bit. And we're going to show you how you can create music without actually having to write it down. And this is something that you can actually download some apps at home to do. If you had me in 5th grade last year, some of you got a little bit of experience doing this on the iPads. Hopefully soon we'll be able to get you back in the classroom and continue that, doing this stuff on your iPads. But until then, I will see you in the next lesson. Make sure that you go take your quiz for this. You can find the link for your quiz in the description below this video on YouTube. You can find the link linked over back on my website, and it's also embedded in the bottom of this week's folder on your Schoology stuff, okay? So no matter how you get there, make sure you get there and take your quiz, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.